for more on efforts to resolve that conflict, we have the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Benue State, Terver Akase, joining us via Skype. The Tiv and Jukun crisis has been on for a really long time. But this time, talk to us about the findings of the committee.
Well, thank you very much for this question. As you heard in the report by your correspondent in Makurdi, the report was presented today to His Excellency the Governor, and he was impressed with the work done by the committee and promised that more efforts will be put in trying to solve these problems. But let me quickly say that the issue in Taraba State is not a problem between Benue and Taraba State. The crisis in Taraba State, it's an issue, it's an internal issue of Taraba. Where Benue State comes in is when border communities of the two states are involved. You know, so this is why the Benue Taraba Committee was set up, and it has done a lot of work, made recommendations, one of which is that the federal government should look at the 1991-1992 report that was made in solving the problem of Jukun and Tiv people in Taraba State. And that the issue of indigenship, those who live in Taraba State who are Tiv people are indigenes of Taraba State. And those who live in Benue State and are indigenes, are Jukun, are indigenes of Benue State. This is also why 2 or 3 years ago, 3 years ago precisely, the Governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, led a delegation to meet with his counterpart in Taraba State at a place called Moon. Moon community is a border community in Benue State. And after that meeting, the peace meeting, the two governors agreed with stakeholders that when the boundaries, and even before the boundaries are looked upon, whoever lives in Benue State, if it's a Jukun man, that person is an indigene of Benue State. And if you live in Taraba, if you are in Chanchangi, you are an indigene of Taraba State. And if you are in Moon community,
Mr. Akase, if I may butt in here, well, I understand the point you're making at this time, and the governor has expressed his desire to see this to an end. He has, as a matter of fact, said that he will not rest until peace is restored between these communities. What strategies really will the state be adopting at this time, and how resolute is the state in achieving peace?
There is nothing better than dialogue. When peace meetings are held, they are held with the intent, with the aim of achieving lasting peace. I mean, dialogue is always at the center of every of those meetings. And when the governor says this, it means every word of what he says. And this is why the report that is submitted today is very crucial, and we hope that his counterpart in Taraba State will also look at it from the same angle, and because what is happening here is these people, these two groups have lived together for ages, and there is therefore no reason why they should be disagreeing at this point. We have Jukun people in Benue, we have Tiv people in Taraba State who are indigenes of the two states where they live. And so there is no point for them to engage in disagreements of this nature. But what is central is that every stakeholder has to show sincerity. There should be sincerity on both sides. And when commissions of inquiry are set up, the commission should involve all stakeholders, so that everyone is brought to the table of dialogue. This way we will have lasting peace.
It's a good way to end the conversation, Mr. Terver Akase, Chief Press Secretary to Governor of Benue State. Thank you for joining us at this time.
It's my pleasure.